Hey guys, my name's Louis, and I'll be trying to do a couple of these videos every once in a while, maybe once or twice a week if I get a chance to. I am here in sunny Dubai. I've been here since February of 2017, but that's not what this is about. I used to work for a couple companies in the US when I was there, and I'm seeing a lot of videos on nightmare situations, nightmare stories, and I have a few, so I want to bring some into light so I can see if anyone can relate and see if anyone likes any of the videos or anything like that. If you guys want me to keep going with this, I have quite a few stories, so I could probably make this into a series. But this one is gonna be GameStop, which I've seen a lot of GameStop nightmare stories lately. So I used to be an assistant manager at a GameStop in Chicago. Love the job. It's like probably by far my favorite job of all time, even though GameStop gets a lot of hate from customers and or ex-employees. Like, I love working for there. I was there for about 3 years. I've done pretty much everything in the store before. So this particular time I opened the shop and I had a line, and this was right after some new games have come out. So I had a line. I had about 6 or 7 people. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and this one guy comes in and he asked me if we sold DS Lite plugs. I told him yes. They are $9.99, and he takes a wad of cash out of his pocket and he throws it on the second register. Then he just waits, and I'm taking care of the other customers that are, kind of in a rush, but they're pretty cool about it. And then he yells at me and says, "I'm in line," or more like, "I'm waiting here." And I said, "There's a line in front of you, sir. You need to get in line." And then he paces back and forth a little bit, and I'm still taking care of customers. And then he comes back and he says, like, you're ignoring me, and he proceeds to call me racist and a couple of other cuss words. I will not be using cuss words in probably any of my videos, by the way. And so I'm like, just don't cut in line. I mean, if you want, you can ask another guest if you can skip ahead of him, but other than that, I'd be taking care of the line. So he was very understandable. He yelled in the store obscenities and called me racist. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep attending my customers because they were here first. So then he grabs his money and he says he's never coming back. And I told him to have a good day. I was like, all right, guy, have a good day. So he comes back. He comes back like if I told him off, And it's like, oh, you're lucky you're behind the counter. And I just laughed. He's not gonna come behind the counter. But he does. He proceeds to come behind the counter, which is on my right side. Luckily for me, I had the burglar bar right next to me. If you guys don't know what a burglar bar is, it's basically when we close or open the store, there's a bar that's locking the back door to the stock room. So if in case anyone breaks in, no one can break that down in the time it takes for the alarm to tip the cops off, which is great. So I had just opened, so I had it there leaning on the counter, and then that was the first thing I grabbed. I just put my hand around it. He looked at it, looked at me, then he laughed, and then he proceeded to walk out the store. And then he's like, "I'm never coming back, I'm never coming back," and he's yelling at me, and I'm like, "All right, no problem, sir, you take care." And then he looks at me. He looks at a big DVD rack that has used game DVDs for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and he kicks it over and he says, "Have fun cleaning that." I laughingly told him, my manager just pulled up, so I don't actually have to clean that. But you have a good day anyway. And he looks at my manager, and my manager has no idea what's going on. He's just getting out of his car, and he looks at me and he just like bolts out the door. And the look on my manager's face, he just like looks at the stuff, and he looks at me and he looks at the stuff. What happened? And I was like, oh, an irate customer. And I explained the story to him, and he just kicked down. All you see is it's like over 100 DVD cases on the floor, blue and green all over the place. And yeah. That was one of my favorite stories of that. I mean, I have plenty more, but that one's the one for this one. And this is my very first GameStop nightmare story. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. If you want any more, I definitely have more. I've worked for a couple of different companies in Chicago, which I do have a ton of other stories. Feel free to let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, another one will be coming next week. Thank you and have a good day.